Are you tired of your pugs falling apart before they start, or before getting far in an instance? Well, I've got a solution for you. Join NDD Raid School Pugs. Welcome to NDD Raid School. This session focuses on raiding tips and becoming a good raider. By following and mastering these 2 simple steps, you can greatly improve the quality of your raiding. Also, if done correctly the first time, you should never have to do this again. But, on the other hand, if you don't put the time in the first time, you won't ever master these steps. Step 1 is learn your class. It doesn't matter what class or what role you are doing, the talent specialization you have is very important. Some talents are very important for reasons you might not think of. Some talents are required to do your maximum DPS, while at the same time there are others for personal preference. There should not be one cookie-cutter spec for everything, or there's no uniqueness in the game anymore. The second most important thing for DPS classes and tanks is your rotation. Using a random rotation with most classes will result in much lower DPS and threat. You can find many rotation guides online, or if you prefer my guides, I am planning to make rotation guides in the future. The second most important thing for healers is knowing your most efficient role. An example, are you a tank healer or are you a raid healer? The different healing classes in the game are built efficiently for different roles. The third most important thing of learning your class is learning what defensive cooldowns you have. A defensive cooldown is an ability that sets your class apart from the other classes, and that can be used to keep yourself alive in certain situations. Examples of defensive cooldowns are mages have Ice Block, hunters have Feigned Death, paladins have Divine Shield. Not every class has an obvious defensive cooldown. That's why you need to learn if yours are more subtle or they're more obvious, and then when to use them. Step 2 in becoming a good raider is learn your role in each encounter. Every boss in the game has mechanics that need to be followed in order to make the encounter go smoothly. Learn your role in making each mechanic of the encounter a success. Most encounters in the game do not have an overwhelming amount of mechanics or roles in each mechanic that you could not spend the time to figure out your specific role. Knowing your role in the encounter includes knowing where you are supposed to position yourself throughout the encounter. Most encounters are made much easier simply by using the correct positioning. This is maybe a little above and beyond, but it still should be done. Are there any tricks your class has to execute utter ownage of the encounter? Most encounters have places to use tricks that you do not even think about, and I don't profess to know all the tricks of every encounter either. I'm always learning. If you have understood everything up to this point and master these 2 steps, you will be a good raider. But stop right here. Do you want to stop at being a good raider, or do you want to become an awesome raider? Going on from here is not easy. More effort is required. If you're not one who likes to work towards goals and achievements, then at least master the first 2 steps, and pugs will still go smoother. The following steps will show you how to become an awesome raider, instead of just a good one. Becoming an awesome raider requires 3 additional steps to the first 2 that you have mastered. However, you cannot start the last 3 steps until you have mastered the first 2 steps. You don't start building a building in the air, you start at the ground, on the foundation. Step 3 in becoming an awesome raider is learn every aspect of the encounter. DPS classes should learn what are the tanks and healers supposed to do, because knowing this will enable you to adapt to the situation instead of teleporting yourself into a DPS world oblivious of your surroundings. Sometimes I wonder if a lot of lackadaisical frolicking doesn't go on in these DPS worlds. Tanks should learn what are the DPS and healers supposed to do. Knowing this will enable you to adapt to the situation. Healers should learn what are the tanks and DPS supposed to do. Knowing this will enable you to adapt to the situation. Step 4 in becoming an awesome raider is increase your awareness. After a wipe, try to figure out what went wrong and recognize when you did something wrong. If you cannot recognize when you made a mistake, you cannot get better. Practice watching your surroundings so you can tell if someone is doing something wrong. Recognizing when someone else is doing something wrong will allow you to adapt to the situation and save the wipe. The easiest way to start increasing your awareness is to use raid frames, even if it is only the regular WoW interface frames. These frames tell you almost everything you need to know in order to notice something going wrong. When you join a raid group, go to the Raid tab and pull each group out onto your screen where you can see them. Look under the Interface Options menu to change the raid frames to your preferences. One very important thing is to right-click on each group's raid frame and click the Show Debuffs option. Noticing what debuffs are on who and when is very important in a lot of the Icecrown Citadel fights. Step 5 in becoming an awesome raider is make up for mistakes. When something does go wrong in a fight, figure out what you can do to make up for it. You cannot expect to pug your instances every week because you don't want to commit to a raiding guild and get as far as a raiding guild by quitting because your group wiped. Raiding guilds are together for a reason, progressing through content, which takes a time commitment. What I am offering is a progression pug environment, but only those willing to wipe will get to the endgame content. Again, the 5 steps of becoming an awesome raider are 1. Learn your class, 2. Learn your role in each encounter, 3. Learn every aspect of the encounter, 4. Increase your awareness, and 5. Make up for mistakes. If you are a person who does not want to put any time commitment at all into raiding, then just stop watching now because you won't get anything out of the rest of this video. The last few minutes of this video will be on the NDD Raid School Pug philosophy that will be used in all Raid School Pugs. First of all, if everyone in your group has mastered the first 2 steps of this video, logically, you cannot wipe. The reason is, everyone is doing their part correctly. However, we are all human, and humans make mistakes that can cause a wipe. Some mistakes will most certainly cause a wipe, while others can be adapted to by the awesome raiders. I promise you, if no one in your group has mastered beyond the first 2 steps, you will wipe from mistakes, and your group will probably break up with someone saying, "You all suck," even if everyone in the group really does know the encounter. The reason I'm doing this is because the pug environment has been destroyed, since people expect to complete every encounter on the first try, and the first try only. The hint for people who recognize this but don't know why is that these are also the people who want to be carried. How do I know they want to be carried? Because if they are pugging every week, they aren't in a progression guild, where you would spend the time to progress through the encounters. Now there is not enough time with a pug to progress through every encounter. However, for those willing to put in the time, you will see progression. NDD Raid School is an opportunity for people who pug every week and still want to down endgame content. It is also an opportunity for people with alts to come down endgame content. NDD Raid School offers fair loot rules. If you don't think they're fair, go join a pug that'll ninja from you. NDD Raid School is not an opportunity for people who pug every week and want to be carried, ninja loot, and yell, scream, and act immature towards others. I guarantee these people will try to get in and ruin the good thing, but those who truly see this as an opportunity won't let that happen. I know you might not have any reason to trust me yet, but all I ask is if you are tired of failing pugs, watch for an NDD Raid School pug and give it a try. My question to you is, if you keep trying pugs every week anyway, why not give a serious opportunity a try? For some credibility, you can armory my prop paladin Korathel for the Lich King achievement. Again, this is only an opportunity for reasonable people. There will be no immature, greedy, ridiculous people allowed to stay in these raids, or if they show that quality, be invited back. I advise you to take this seriously. I am not against giving second chances, but if you choose to test me, you'll find out pretty quick that you're not going to get away with it. Thank you for watching, and keep an eye out for upcoming NDD Raid School raids. This is a list of my characters, and will be the only ones leading NDD Raid School raids until further notice. Attempts may be made to be an imposter NDD Raid School raid leader, and I don't want that to happen, so here's the list of my characters. If ever I am not acting to your expectations, do not hesitate to ask why. Don't just assume things, because that's how good things get broken down.